Good morning, members, and welcome to this Urgent Decisions Committee meeting on the 20th of December 2024. Before I open the meeting, could I ask any members or officers in physical attendance with an electronic device to mute it to avoid any feedback? And could I ask any remote participants to keep their camera and microphone off unless they wish to speak? And ideally, do not use the camera facility at all, as this can affect the quality of the IT connection. The meeting may be live streamed and recorded, and data collected during recording of the meeting will be retained in accordance with the Council's data retention policy. The record of the meeting will be added to the Council's website. Members accessing the meeting remotely should use their Swilborough Council or Kent County Council laptop to participate virtually. If you join us using a link on the website or on a mobile and tablet device, it is not always possible to identify you, and you may not be recorded as being in remote attendance. So could I welcome everyone to this meeting, including members dialing remotely and any members of the public that we've got with us. Also in attendance is the Chief Executive, Larissa Reid, the Director of Regeneration and Neighbourhoods, Emma Wiggins, remotely, Director of Resources, Lisa Fillery, Ian Harrison, the Planning Manager, remotely, Democratic Services Officer, Kelly McKenzie, and also Robin Harris, our Legal Officer. Thank you. Is everybody here familiar with the emergency evacuation procedure? That's run and follow me if it goes. Fantastic. Okay, so I won't delay you in further reading that out. Are there any apologies for absence?
Thank you, Chair. Apologies from Councillor James Hunt. His substitute is Councillor Julian Speed. Councillor Elliot Jays. His substitute is Councillor Monique Bonney. Thank you.
Thank you. Members, are there any declarations of interest? Councillor Speed.
Thank you, Chairman. Just to mention that I'm involved in a consortium of parish councils, which is known as the Tenham and Highstead Community Action, and that group is a Rule 6 party at the inquiry.
Thank you. Duly noted. Councillor Bonney.
Similar declaration. Mine's for the 5 parishes group, also Rule 6 party. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we move on to the item to be discussed today, which is the Highstead inquiry costs, and I'll thank Larissa to introduce the report.
Okay, so in front of you, you have a report that has a confidential agenda. If we need a confidential appendix, if we need to discuss, or if anyone wants to discuss any of the items within the confidential appendix, we will need to vote to go into part 2. So I will keep this just on the public appendix, the public report, but if there is, it is absolutely fine that we do go into part 2 should it be required. So this paper considers the potential approaches to the Highstead inquiry and the associated costs with that. Members will be aware that the planning applications referred to as land to the west of Tenham and land to the southeast of Sittingbourne were called in by the Secretary of State on the 7th of November. The Planning Committee then did meet to consider them, although the decision wasn't a decision because they were not able to make one. And the decision will now be made by the Secretary of State. There will be a public inquiry which will be sat in 4 blocks lasting 12 weeks. Both applications were recommended by officers for refusal, and in the reports that the Planning Committee considered, those reasons were set out. The officer recommendations were supported unanimously. So in the confidential appendix, it has the options for the different legal representation that we can have. Members are asked to note the range of estimated costs, that they agree their preferred option for legal support, and that bit I think will need to be done in part 2, and that members agree that, that members endorse all contracting standing orders, waivers necessary to enable the timely procurement of the service that services that are required. And members agree that compensationary budget savings are made to reduce the growth within the MTFP to cover any additional costs incurred. Now, there has been, which is now on the website also, there has been a proposal, or is going on the website, sorry, it's going on the website, a proposal for things that may come out of the budget. You will be aware that we have gone out to consultation on the budget, and the things within the document that you've been circulated are currently showing in the budget as growth, and those are proposed to come out of the budget. That would it would be, as you know, the budget is proposed. It will be proposed for policy and resources in February without these. And the differences that would also be is there would be no member grants for 1 year. So that's not a new thing. That's something that's currently in the budget that would be paused for 1 year. So that's where we are. Do members wish to go into part 2 to be able to discuss the details of the confidential appendix?
Councillor Bonney.
Can I have a point of clarification, please? Because we've been given some numbers here on a schedule, which I take it those are in the public domain.
Yes, they will be.
Because
those that are in the budget papers, they are referred to as exactly as they are in the budget papers, and then the new proposals, which are listed as such, are existing budgets that were proposed during meetings. So they will be, they're either in the budget or they're proposed to be in the medium-term financial plan.
okay. But do you not see that by publishing those, you're almost effectively giving away those?
It's not published yet.
Okay, can I just suggest that actually what you're doing is giving away to those chambers?
We won't publish it. The detail can go into confidential.
We can go. Yeah, we will. It will.
Can
be
I
published,
suggest
but
that you do?
under confidential?
Okay,
Thank you.
can I just say there, yeah, I think that really is an important point, and
We can.
Otherwise, you take your negotiating legs off.
absolutely. Yeah.
No, that's
It
not
will- It is
clever.
important that members, and as the Urgent Decisions Committee is a committee, it is full council. You are just a very shrunken full council, so all members will have the opportunity, can have the opportunity to see the papers, and it's important that members have the opportunity, all members will have the opportunity to see this, so we'll put it as a confidential paper.
Thank you.
So would members like to, do members feel that they need to go into part 2 to be able to discuss this?
Councillor Baldock.
We don't need to go into private session if we're just going to agree the recommendation to approve.
Agreed.
Pardon?
Yeah, I agree. So, yeah, Councillor Perkins, sorry.
So if we don't go into private session, does that mean we don't have any discussion about anything? Like we're just going to agree the recommendation with no discussion?
So to answer your question, Councillor Perkin, the options that are open to members are you go into private session and you debate this paper with the different options, or if there is an option that you all believe you agree on, then you don't need to go into part 2. You can just the recommendations. But so it's up. That's my question: is do you want to debate the information, or do you want to just go into the proposals? I'm just having a look at. Just going to seek some advice. Members, we are going to have to go into part 2 because there isn't a, if you look at the recommendations, it says they note the range. they agree their preferred option. You can't agree your preferred option without us knowing what your preferred option is, and we can't know your preferred option when we're in public session. So I would ask that somebody...
Can we not just propose the top one?
I think that's... I think we'll have to go into... We will come back into public session after we've done that bit. Yeah, we need the clarity.
Councillor Bowen, please.
Can I therefore propose that we go into a closed session? Otherwise, we're going to keep going round in circles and not get very far. So, can we go into a closed session, please?
Thank you. Can I have a seconder for that? Councillor Perkin, thank you. Those in favour?
That's because she said she'd do it for £2,500 a day, and that's why I said I didn't think we would.
Okay, Kelly, can you take us back into public session? We're back in, are we? Yeah. Okay. So, members, yeah, that's right. Now, so what we've got before us is the four recommendations, which I'm wholeheartedly happy to propose. Could I have a seconder?
Happy to second 1, 2 and 3. I don't like that second line in paragraph 4. You can probably say it doesn't matter, but I don't think that second line should stay because it's down to the administration what they do.
If that is a proposal from Councillor Baldock to remove the final sentence of clause 4, I would second that.
I proposed it, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I've got Councillor Harrison, then Councillor Perkin, please.
I think if we're agreeing to a massive amount of money to pay for Highstead, then we ought to have some idea, an indication of where the money is coming to pay for it. That is called being responsible. You can't just put it on the back burner. Oh, well, at some point, in a couple of months in the budget, and we may not be here in a couple of years, so let's just spend every halfpenny we got. We've got to do things now and be responsible for now, going forward. It's already been said that at the budget meeting, amendments can be put forward, but you've got to have some indication of where this money's coming from. You can't just keep saying, oh, it'll come out reserves. I'm not sure how much is left in that. We have got to be responsible. And as I said, it was an indication.
Councillor Perkin, please.
I think removing the final sentence just also takes away the accountability for the public reading about where that money is going to come from. I think it's important to reflect that it's going to need to come from the budget.
Councillor Baldock?
I think some of the comments that have been said are not referencing what was said. Nobody's saying we just put this on with never, never. What the point is that the specific items are not for this council to approve or not approve, or for this committee to approve or not approve. It is for the administration to put forward its budget in February, which means that line is totally superfluous.
With the greatest respect, Mr. Chairman, if we are going to put forward budget savings in February, then perhaps we should put this off till February and decide whether or not we're going to pay from naught to whatever in February. But it was an urgent decision because this came up. We were asked to make a decision on how much we were prepared to pay and where it was going to come from.
Thank you. Lisa, can I just bring you...
Yes, for the clarity, that these items refers to the compensatory budget savings, not necessarily the items listed. So that sentence backs up the fact that the compensatory budget savings that will be made to fund the inquiry will be taken from the budget, not specific items, just the savings that are agreed. Not specific. Oh God.
Yeah, Councillor Baldock.
The first bit says, members agree that compensatory budget savings are made to reduce the growth within the draft mid-term financial plan to cover the additional costs to be incurred in the delivery of the inquiry. That's all you need to say.
Yeah.
That covers everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Councillor Perkin, please.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I was going to say what Lisa said, but also that I think the first sentence that members agree the compensatory budget savings are made to reduce the growth within the draft medium-term financial plan. That kind of implies that we're just going to be taking growth out of the budget, and that isn't potentially the case because we haven't decided the budget yet. So I think you do need to have that sentence in there, and it's not about any indicative saving. It's about those, the compensatory budget savings that are implied in that first sentence. And I do think you do need to make it clear that it's not all going to come out of growth. It is going to come out. There's going to be some budgetary implications in February as well.
Okay, thank you. So I've got a proposal on the floor, duly seconded, and I'm going to take that to the vote now. So that was for removal of the last sentence. These items will be removed from the final budget to be published in February and replaced with the cost of the inquiry. Those in favour? Those against? That's carried 4-3. Thank you, members. So we go back to the substantive. Yeah, we go back to the substantive motion now, which I proposed. I need a seconder for it. Seconded by Councillor Baldock. Are those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. So thank you, members. That concludes our business. Wish you all a